Introverts, how did you meet your girlfriend? I decided to audition for a role in the musical, and I got a minor role. She also got a minor role, and there was a scene where we had to pretend to talk to each other, and we became fast friends and it escalated from there. Through Craigslist. I was going through a divorce, and living with a friend. We hung around his friends mostly, as I didn't have many, especially not single ones. Coincidentally, most of his friends were married as well. So, I got the idea that we should get some single female friends to hang around, they would have other single female friends and we'd have some good wing woman to hook us up when we were out. I was breaking out of my shell, at 29 years old, so, I emailed this girl that had posted in the strictly platonic section, and we could not stop going back and forth with conversation. We always had something to talk about. It wasn't supposed to develop into a relationship. I had only ever met one person in my life that I clicked with so well. I asked her out, about 3 weeks later, and we'll be married 2 years in August. I was living in a duplex with some friends. One day I decided to take one of my roommate's dog for a walk, which I never usually did. Shortly after leaving the house I was stopped by a girl who asked, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" I had never seen her before, but it was enough to start the small talk. She helped me walk the dog around the block and we were basically inseparable from that point on. What my introvert self failed to notice at the time, she had been stalking me for weeks, trying to get me to notice her. Walking her own dog past my house, riding her bike next to my car, waiting for me to get home from work when I would unknowingly street park in front of her house where she would be doing yard work. She succeeded by catching me walking that dog, which, remember, I never ever did, it was fate I guess. 6 months after meeting her I moved out of the duplex and 5 houses down the street, lol. Married 16 years now. A friend of mine invited me to a party and I decided to go for the first time in years. The girl I met there was in exactly the same spot. Ever since we met we haven't gone to any other parties and just enjoy watching movies together instead. Smile. In the end I'm happy I went to that party after all. Deleted. We met at a drag queen's house and she just kept talking to me afterwards. I couldn't decide if she liked me or if she was just really friendly. Got married last October, heart. Just because I'm a fucking introvert doesn't mean I have no social skills. My boyfriend and I are extremely introverted and quiet. We met at the start of school when everyone's trying to make new friends through our roommates. I remember always hoping he wasn't into me BC I just wanted friends. He was actually my best friend and we have the same major, so I'd always stay up super late doing projects together. One of those nights I couldn't focus on our work because all I wanted was to be close to him, and that's when I realized I was in love with him. Special thanks to Java for that, haha. Deleted. I met my husband while I was shopping. I spent a good 6 weeks buying incredibly overpriced avocados from the shop he works at, and then after coincidentally winning at Fruitbox Weekly Draw I added him on FB, through the shop's FB page, minor stalker alert here, and just asked him out. And here we are, a year later, married. Bonus, the avocados are now free. I met her at the going away party of a mutual friend. Took a couple weeks for us to warm up to each other, but we were constantly prodded by said mutual friend. We've been together 4 years next month. What my GF doesn't know is that our friend the party was for, is someone I was in the process of breaking up with because she is moving away. My GF doesn't know that we ever dated, and that I'm still in love with her. All she knows is that we're close friends that have known each other for about 20 years. I was hiding in the kitchen at a big party, where they actually kicked people out of the kitchen who weren't cooking. I'd helped in the past, so was let in, due to a terrible headache. My now wife came over and said something like, "I've been told you're the person to chat with if I've any questions." I let my friend make me a few drinks before a rave we were going to because I'm not great with being sober at social things. He neglected to tell me how much was in said drinks and I was hammered before we even got in the cab that dropped us off there. I ended up losing my group and I came back with her and everyone lost their shit. Apparently I walked up and told her. She was sitting on a chair in the cool down section and I told her, "Look, we have two options here. You could sit on my lap, or I can sit on yours." She gestured at her lap with her hands and I sat down. Must have made decent small talk, and she ended up staying with my group and I because she locked herself out of her car. Also, when we regrouped with the people I came with, after she and I had walked around a bit, I was blacking out and coming to over and over, and when we found them they pointed and yelled, "JKD 2001 found a girl." And I got really confused, looked to my left, saw her, and yelled back, "Holy shit, I totally did." Forgetting I had been walking with this girl the entire time. I also blacked out for a while, and when I came back I was bent over in the middle of the crowd trying to pick some dude's pocket. No idea why. I've never done that, so I don't really know what that was about. I bought art from her. We started talking about Fallout, then Elite Dangerous. Starting playing Elite together and just kinda took off from there. /show/. I met a girl on the internet. Let's call Get M. She was outgoing, social, very extroverted and maybe a tad crazy. She came to visit me, about 7 hours drive away, and I awkwardly tried not to make an ass of myself. While visiting, she said, "Hey, a friend of mine from high school is on a co-op/intern term in city very nearby. We should go meet up with her for an afternoon. Let's call that friend K." K was nerdy, awkward, introverted, and I completely reevaluated what I wanted in a partner within the first 5 minutes of meeting her. K and I both slowly lost contact with M, and to this day we aren't sure if she knows that we became a couple a few years later. Or that we got married. Someday, we're going to run into her and it's going to be really funny. Volunteered in Thailand to work with elephants. I was one of only 2 guys with 18 girls. Volunteering is very often dominated by compassionate, smart women, especially if it involves animals. My girlfriend is an absolutely beautiful, amazing girl that is now a vet student. We are completely in love. I recommend volunteering to anyone, and especially to people who are depressed and lonely. It is rewarding, and if you're not a shit person, you will meet amazing people and have amazing experiences. Edit, I know this is a late edit, but I wrote this when I was tired and now I'm remembering how we met. I said we're in love and I just get warm every time I think about her. The night it became obvious we liked each other, she broke my finger. Well, that's what I tell everyone, but the truth is I was carrying her up some stairs to a movie theater and tripped. She landed on my hand on the corner of a stair and basically shattered my knuckle. I ignored it. We skipped out on the movie with the group and had drinks on the roof. It was one of the best nights of my life. I never told the instructor I broke my pinky because I didn't want to get sent away and miss the rest of the trip with her, so now I can't bend it all the way. It's permanently disfigured. I love it because it's such a good story and reminder of how much fun we always have. Well, I tried to upload pictures of my broken finger and the 2 of us, but it ain't working. Oh well. College. My friends were more outgoing. They set my wife and I up and poked and prodded me into position. We've been married for 22 years now. Shout out to my friends. LOL. Not an introvert but dating an introvert. He was my waiter and I left him my number. Smile. It was Halloween. She was dressed like a voodoo doll. Me, like a James Bond potted daisy. Since I couldn't see through the pot too well, that was the best time to ask her, really. Being exposed to the elements makes things difficult for me as I'm not as extroverted. Besides, after some liquid courage, I could remove the pot and try again, hoping she didn't recognize the rest of the outfit. You could say, our relationship blossomed after that. We got married 2 weeks ago. I told her, if I weren't so socially inept, I'd be trying to have a conversation with you. Married almost 9 years. What girlfriend? Met a girl in high school. Apparently she had a crush on me. She started talking to me one day out of the blue. 14 years and 2 kids later and I'm still waiting for her to stop. by being an extrovert for a day. She showed up at my house. 7 years later, we're getting married in 4 months. At my friend's wedding. He was the photographer. I was a bridesmaid. I'm the introvert. Anyway, he made me laugh the whole week I was there. After I went back to my home state, we started talking online and on the phone. He invited me to visit many times. I couldn't do it. I would chicken out. 9 months later he visited me, and after that he kinda claimed me as his own and hasn't let go. That was 6 years ago. Married in 2013, had our son in 2012.